More on the New South Wales flood event, which is considered the once in a 500-year event for Taree, New South Wales. Well, joining us live is Ms Neilson, owner and manager of the Dairy Johns River. And thank you very much for joining us. Just describe, first of all, if you don't mind, where you are located.
So we're halfway between Taree and Port Macquarie, smack bang in the middle there.
All right, and you are the owner of Dairy Johns River. Tell us about your farm and the impact that you've had with this recent flooding situation.
So normally we milk about 150 cows. We haven't been able to do much in the way of response as of yet. We're just getting the cows through each day. The floodwaters receded mostly yesterday. All of our paddocks that we had planted for winter have been underwater, so we're not sure what the damage will be there. Mostly we're dealing with just animal health issues, severe lameness in the cows, mastitis, pneumonia, that sort of thing. But we have been very, very lucky. We've not been as harshly affected as a lot of people.
We're unable to contact a lot of farmers at the moment, Emily, because they are out of range in connectivity. But you have had a chat to some of them. Tell us how they are.
Look, it's just devastating. There's no words for it. These people have lost literally everything, not just their livelihoods. They've lost a lot of their babies that they consider, you know, they're like kids, our cows. They all have names. They're all very special. But on top of that, they've lost their houses. They've lost their belongings. They've lost their cars. And they're just getting back on their farms and having to look at all this. And the damage is insurmountable. The grief is immense. People are just trying to figure out what the first thing to do is. And for dairy farmers, the first thing to do is always to get the cows milked, to try and give them some relief and stimulate that milk production, get the mastitis out, treat them for anything that they might have succumbed to. But the dairies that have been underwater, they're full of debris. You know, it's a massive job. Before they can even think about getting the machine started, they've got to empty out all that stuff that's collected there from the water. And there's so much that happens and so much goes into it. The sludge left behind is toxic. Even the grass that we have, if it's been underwater, it could kill the cows. We've got to look out for things like salmonella in the cows and other diseases that could kill them for weeks and weeks after this event. So, yeah, the whole industry is absolutely flattened by this event.
Oh, just devastating to hear what's going on. And again, as you said, no words at all. And yeah, you know, you describe your animals as your children, and there are so many in pain and missing. And as you said, like the cows that need to be milked. So although the rain has gone, this is going to go on for days, the cleanup, but, you know, most importantly, human and animal health.
Yeah, and I think it's important to recognise that the farmers, it doesn't matter what they farm, they always put the animals first. And then, you know, mental health becomes a massive issue because we're just, you know, working all day and all night trying to get the cows looked after. So, you know, it's not just on-farm support that's needed, it's mental health support for every single farmer that's been affected, and not just the ones that have been severely affected, but everyone. And, you know, so far the support that's been offered is a kick in the teeth. You know, it's really not going to do anything at this point. So I hope more is coming.
So tell us a little bit about that. We're hearing, you know, the assistance that people are being potentially provided by the government. You say that it's not coming. What is the process of getting those funds?
Look, I don't think it's the process that's the issue. I think it's what's being offered. At this point, all we're being offered is a transport subsidy, so $15,000 at most for feed that we can't find, we can't buy and we can't move. And a $130,000 concessional loan. I mean, if you've been hit and you've lost everything, who's going to go into debt to the government? It's just not realistic. And, you know, last time we had a big event like this, we had grants that were released pretty quickly, and it meant that people didn't have to think about the financial repercussions of the cleanup. They could just get busy and get it done. And they knew that they were going to have an amount of money to contribute to that and contribute to getting up and running again. And unless we get those grants again, people are just it's going to be easier to walk off the farm than to deal with the situation.
Unfortunately, that's what we are certainly hearing more and more of, but we've got to wrap it up. Emily, thank you so much for sharing your story. We're thinking of you and everybody who is affected by these floods. And again, the rain has gone, but it's a long road ahead. Take care and really appreciate you joining us today.
Thanks very much.